So it was a good thing. Okay, moving on this Ian Gillan special on Rock Radio to, well, I was with Black Sabbath for a year. It was the longest party I've ever been to. I got an invitation to go for a drink with Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler. We met at a pub in Oxford, which was halfway between here and there. And we met at lunchtime, about 1 o'clock. We started drinking, and that's the last I remember, until I got a phone call from my office the next day from my manager, who said, Ian, I think if you're going to make career decisions, you should really call the office first and we should talk it through. And I said, well, I'm not sure what you mean, Phil. He said, well, apparently yesterday, under a table somewhere in Oxford, you agreed to join Black Sabbath. And I said, well, there you go. And so I did, and I was doing nothing else at the time. And it ended up being the longest party I've ever been to. It was 1 year of amazing fun. And at the beginning, of course, we made this record called Born Again. Many, many stories during this time. I was camping out in the field, actually, because it was too dangerous in the house. And coming back from the pub one night, decided to do some time trials. We bought a fleet of cars, Ford Granadas, I think they were. And Richard Branson had a go-kart track, which wasn't really big enough for racing cars, but it was big enough to do a single car and time trials. And so I did a few laps of this and then hit a pile of tires and flipped the car a few times. And it was a near-death experience. And fortunately, we got out of it and the car was no fit state for driving anymore. But it was good material for the lyrics for a song the following day, and I'd like to play that for you now. It's from the Born Again album, Black Sabbath, and the song's called Trashed.
This is rockradio.co.uk.
Anyway, Roger Glover got me out of a big hole one day. I decided I was going to leave Deep Purple in 1973 for what seemed like all the right reasons. And I went off and dabbled with motorbikes and hotels, and I still had my recording studio. And one day got a call from Rog saying, could you help? I've got this big show in a couple of days' time at the Royal Albert Hall. It's called the Butterfly Ball. And Ronnie Dio can't make it. I found out later that Ronnie had been told by Richie that if he did turn up, he'd be fired from Rainbow, but that's another story. And for which I'm very grateful to Richie. So I said, Rog, yeah, of course I'll help you out, mate. And so I rehearsed the song, turned up. I wasn't in the program, and but got an exceedingly warm reaction from the audience, and made me realize what an idiot I was and how music was really a very important part of my life. And the next day I picked up my guitar, wrote a few songs, made some phone calls, and got back into the business. But that's just a side story, really, because of that I listened very carefully to this record, and when I heard the story from Ronnie, I went back and heard it again and listened to what a great musical performance. This is a big hit for Roger and Ronnie, and I'd like to play it for you. Just listen to the vocals on this. And what a song of joy from an age of optimism. We don't hear songs like this very often now, but here it is from the Butterfly Ball album. It's called Love Is All.